right, we would like to officially welcome everyone back to the newest episode of the GarageCast. And as you can see, we've at least partially figured out how to do video. So, welcome. This is, of course, the lovely garage of our own Muss. How we doing, guys?
Doing good. A little late start this morning, but had to make sure we got some breakfast in us and try to figure this video out. So, glad to be here.
Yeah, figuring stuff out takes a second for us. We're old and dumb. So.
Yeah, as we said before, none of us are very tech savvy. And so, again, anybody who's listening, either of you, if you know how to hook up any of these audio video things for a podcast, please let us know. But happy to be here on this snowy Saturday morning to talk about one of the biggest things obviously happening right now, and that's NFL playoffs.
Yeah, and for most of us, a somewhat uncommon occurrence, the Bears are participating this year.
You gotta love to see it.
In the playoffs. There's quite a few question marks surrounding them, but we're going to see how that goes tonight against the hated Green Bay Packers. And you can't forget, Jerome's Eagles are in the field again this year following their Super Bowl victory last year. Don't quite look like the same team this year, Jerome, but still dangerous.
They don't look like the same team as last year. They're flying around in the playoffs, but we'll see what happens. A lot of issues on both sides, defense and offense. So.
Yeah, how are you feeling? As the lone Eagles fan here that we've got, how are you feeling about that?
I haven't felt good all year. I was a little shocked that they ended the way they did. If they can put it together, I think they can get back. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see if they're still asleep at the wheel or if they wake up and actually play.
Well, here's what I think is going to change for them in the playoffs is most of the year, Hurts didn't run the ball very much. They kind of had him play traditional style offense.
Yeah.
And come playoff time, it's the same thing with Josh Allen.
Yeah.
You know, these guys that can really take over the game, change the momentum with big third down pickups because of their legs. Honestly, Caleb Williams is the same way.
Yeah.
You know, they're not strictly pocket quarterbacks, and the defense can't always account for them taking off when they got everything covered down the field.
No, and you've seen that, I think, all season long with the fact that when Caleb Williams gets into trouble, if he's got an opportunity to use his legs, and he does, it usually brings a pretty positive result, either first down or whatnot, and you're getting close to it. So I guess we'll see. If Hurts is able to do some running like he can, that might be good for you guys. I mean, what do you got, 49ers, right?
49ers. You know, Saquon's also been quiet this year, I feel.
He has.
Although, I mean, last year he was going for the record and whatever, you know, but this year it just hasn't been the same team. It really
do we know yet? Is Lane Johnson going to be back for the playoffs?
I have no idea.
They've been,
should have looked that up.
You know, they've had some injuries on the O-line that's going to affect the run game, obviously. And I think there's been some emphasis probably this year to not use Saquon like they did last year, kind of preserve him. So we'll see what that looks like come playoff time. They obviously aren't going to be.
It's still questionable.
There's not going to be a governor on the carries for Saquon.
No, you're going to let him run. And
we need a Jamie, by the way. Like, hey, can you look that up, please?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? We do. That's another thing. Can we get a research guy? You know, because that just make us look better.
We don't pay well. So.
No, but you do get beers
and breakfast.
Yeah, we had some nice breakfast casserole this morning. Thank you again, Muss, for putting that together.
Mama Muss's recipe.
Yes, it's famous for all those who know. But yeah, so I mean, Jerome, I think when it comes to this Eagles-Niners game, you're looking at a tough one because you got the 49ers who, did not punt for the entire month of December up until they faced a certain team. Oh, that's right. That was the Chicago Bears, the first team to make them punt all December. Yeah. And which just turned into a massive offensive shootout. But, I mean, I don't know. What do you think the offense can handle that?
No.
Right.
Well,
I'm not optimistic. I am not optimistic.
I think they can. San Fran was trash in Week 18 when they could have gotten home field advantage throughout the playoffs.
Yeah,
they got straight up waxed by the Seahawks. 3 points. And so I think there's a good chance the Eagles can come out of that game. San Francisco's got a lot of injuries, especially on the defensive side. You look at the Bears, that's a team that had a couple good games offensively, but when you look back at it, good game against the Browns doesn't mean that much. So
They're the Cleveland Browns.
that tells me that the defense of San Francisco is pretty trash because the Bears, it was the hot butter through knife. So
Well, and-
I think the Eagles do have a chance to make some noise there.
Yeah, I think that they definitely fell apart at the end. And you're talking about the Bears. It's almost as if the Bears have yet to put together a solid game of football on both sides of the ball. They've got the games like San Francisco where their offense just erupts and their defense just folds. And you've got some where the defense does well and you can't produce on offense. I think if they're going to have a chance to win today, they've got to figure out a way to put together a full game.
Well, the Bears are in trouble though because I don't think their defense has had, like you said, a good game against anybody that's got a decent quarterback. Mm-hmm. Their good games are coming against whoever Aaron Rodgers' backup was,
right.
and the Raiders and the Browns. But when they play Jordan Love and these other guys, they give it up.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy tore them up.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, so looking forward, Bears-Packers tonight, 7:30. Just a few fun facts before we dive into the specifics. I'm sure everybody knows, but the oldest rivalry in the NFL, going back all the way to 1921. Bears and Packers have played each other a total of 212 times in the regular season and postseason before today. Of that series, the Packers currently lead 109 to 97 to 6. So 6 ties seems like quite a bit, but over 200 games, maybe not that impressive.
Better than I thought, honestly.
What's that?
I thought the Bears would have lost more.
Well, it's actually funny to know.
Well, the last 20 years, they've lost almost all of them.
The Packers didn't take the lead until, the past few years. Of all those games, though, it's interesting that they have only met in the playoffs twice before today.
Oh, wow.
The first in 1941 for the Western Division playoffs, which the Bears won 33-14. The last one, I think we remember, January 2021 for the NFC Championship, where the Packers won 21-14. Also, I think interesting to note the last 4 games between the Packers and Bears, they have a 2-2 record, and each one of those games has come down to a last-second score of some sort. Now, with all that, with the snow starting to fall, I think we're looking forward to a really exciting game tonight. But one question I saw floating around the internet, and I think it's worth addressing, given everything the Bears have done this year, going from a shit season last year to now 11 wins, if the Bears lose to the Packers tonight, is the season a failure?
Yes.
Why?
Season's a failure because, one, I don't think, while they secured 11 wins, however, it was one of the weakest schedules in the league, and they didn't dominate it. And it took a lot of good fortune to get to where they are. So I don't think the team itself has made quite the necessary gains in their performance to consider it a success. Just because you win doesn't mean you're playing winning football. Sometimes things go in your favor more often than not, and that seems to be the case this year. I think we're going to see – I do, though, however, think that they've laid a good enough base for free agents to want to come to Chicago. They've created the environment for people to want to come.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I do think it's a success. But if you end your season in the playoffs with a loss to the Packers, I can't look at it any other way than a failure.
Okay, so you're talking about like a lot of these where last-second field goals, the last-second block, that game against the Packers with the onside kick.
Right.
Some of that stuff that just happens to fall your way.
Yeah, the amount of times they had things like that happen to go their way to get to where they're at, to me, that's one of those things. Next year, those probably won't go our way.
Right. Yeah.
And if we play the same exact type next year, we're going to, plus a first-place schedule, we're going to looking at 4 or 5 wins.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about all that, you got to look at also each of the teams coming into this game. Some injuries have gotten better. Some are still suffering. Looks like Adunze is going to be back. Kyler Gordon's going to be back. And, the Packers are going to have their starting QB again. I mean, we knocked him out of the game last time, whether you think about that, whether you think it was a good hit or a bad hit or what. But, we're probably going to play against a healthy Jordan Love.
I think that's actually beneficial for the Bears because Malik Willis tore them up.
Yeah.
That ability to – first of all, he ain't going to be back in Green Bay next year. He's going to be starting for somebody and making a bag of money.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's going to be a big factor as well, just having to see how he does against the starting how the Bears do against the starting quarterback this year. I mean, you talk about the game in Green Bay. Obviously, Love played that game, and it was a good game. We lost, but it was a pretty close game. But I think when it came down to it, when he needed to make a play, he did it, and that's something that they're going to maybe suffer with this year or this game.
Well, for this game, I think there's a couple of keys to this game. The Bears need to run the football and then run the football some more. They are one of the best rushing attacks in the NFL. The new offensive line that Ryan Poles put together is borderline great amongst the league this year.
Yeah,
and I think I don't think the Bears defense can hold up against the Packers. We can't generate a pass rush, can't cover. So the only way to prevent Love from dicing us up is to possess the football.
Yeah.
And I think we have the backs in the line to do that. And both tight ends get very involved in the run game as well, which then will get that play action pass going where you can get Loveland and probably Burden on a deep ball or two.
Yeah.
So what I don't want to see is them trying to get cute and try to go for the quote-unquote easy completions with like lateral type screen passes to DJ. Or I don't like seeing that. One, you risk it being a fumble, and two, Ben Johnson had that as part of his game when he was offensive coordinator in Detroit, but those short passes to get the quarterback going were 2-3 yard slants, where the guy has momentum going downfield, the receiver. And now it's we seem to run those and just get smacked right at the line of scrimmage every time.
And I feel like that's been the case more than just this year. I mean, you've seen the Bears try to run screenplays like that for years, and it never works, whether it's because of the blocking or because of the pass or whatever. But I agree. I'm never a fan of that play. It always there's always that chance, like you said, they're going to get blown up and the ball comes out, and then that's a live ball. I think it's going to come down to be successful. It's going to come down to time of possession, and I think you're right. If the Bears can hold the ball and run the ball, for the Bears to win, I think this needs to be a low-scoring game. Yeah. They need to they need to run the ball, control the clock. I mean, I'm talking like maybe 21-14. I mean, you're a low-scoring game, 2-3 touchdowns, and hold the ball as much as they can to get the job done. The less time that Jordan Love has the ball, the better.
Yeah, and I think the conditions are going to play a big factor in it too. So obviously there's this rain, snow, sleet mix going on today. It's going to be a cold game, not incredibly cold, but cold enough, and some wind coming off the lake there. So Jordan Love's a quarterback that can be affected by wind. He likes to throw some high floating balls. That gives us a chance at some interceptions. And Caleb can spin it. He can cut through the wind. So we saw it in the Browns game. Those conditions were awful. Granted, he was going against a trash defense outside of Myles Garrett. Yeah. But still got it done.
Congrats to Myles Garrett, by the way. Congrats on getting that record. That's amazing.
He needs to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, he gets to a real team.
He needs to go
somewhere. I don't know why. He just signed an extension there.
Because he's the king
he's comfortable,
of Cleveland. I know.
What's the point in being the king of Cleveland?
I don't know. But anyway.
I think the Bears-Packers game today is kind of the Super Bowl for both teams, to be honest, because I don't know that they make it out of the next round because it's the Eagles. But in all seriousness, I don't think that either team is going to beat the Eagles. I mean, the Bears did beat the Eagles earlier in the season, which is great.
They beat their ass.
And truthfully, if it was Bears-Eagles and the Bears won, I would be happy for them. I wouldn't be happy if it's the Packers because I hate the Packers regardless, even though I'm not really a Bears fan. But for both teams, I think when you think about a successful season, the Bears were shit last year.
Yeah.
And they've made the improvements, and I think that it's kind of like when we talk about the Cubs and being there and getting to the postseason. Maybe that's kind of a similar situation for the Bears this year, and they come back better next.
Well, and that goes back to what you were saying about they've created a team now where people will be interested. I mean, if you remember, I think it was before Caleb Williams was drafted, there was talk that he was like, I don't want to go to Chicago.
Right.
That's a place where, that's where quarterbacks go to die, essentially. He had no interest in coming to Chicago. Now, they worked that out, obviously, and he's done very well. And I think that's a huge thing is even if you look at the overall record they had this season, the teams they played and the strength of their season, but they have flipped the mentality. Mm-hmm. That is one of the most important things that Ben Johnson has done. He has come in, he's at least brought in this winning mentality. And maybe that's just a stroke of luck of the season. The schedule that they had this season gave him the opportunity to say, we can win some games. We can at least change the mentality to say, hey, these are the Chicago Bears. This is a franchise that's worth being a part of. It's worth coming to because we have the ability to win games.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I was thinking that was going to be my next thing was, what do you think about if you get past the Packers, what comes next? I mean, if it's the Eagles or the 49ers, I mean, either way, that's going to be a tough game.
It's the Eagles.
I do think it will be the Eagles. And I think if that's the case, the only shot the Bears would have is I do believe that the Eagles head coach is a clown that will do something either dumb to lose them the game or something he won't do something in preparation that could cost them the game. I mean, the guy's a buffoon in my mind.
You've got to think if they're coming up against each other, how much is he going to be going back and looking at the past game? I mean, the last game that they played on Black Friday, I mean, you're going to have to study every inch of that to see where you went wrong compared with all the other games you've had since then, all the games the Bears have played since then, to see how are you going to prepare now to not, basically get knocked in the dirt because, sorry, Jerome, that game, they knocked him on their ass.
It was disgusting. I mean, hopefully he does that. I'm not going to defend what you said. I'm going to kind of agree with it. I hope that if it is Bears-Eagles, he doesn't just think, oh, it's the Bears. We're going to kill them.
Right.
We're not the same team we were earlier in the year. But if you
I think
you have to have the same mentality as Ben Johnson. I mean, I love that guy. I really do.
I was going to ask you which coach
I
would you
love
prefer
him.
to have. Yeah.
I think that he's obviously the only reason that the Bears are doing well this year. And like you said, he completely changed the mentality of the team in the city to draw people in. I mean, you want to go to war for a guy, that's the guy that I would go to war for.
Yeah. I mean, that's half the reason I would say, at least for me, that's half the reason why I get so excited because the dude just loves it. And and I think it's so funny you see the switch in his how he looks, his personality when it's game time, he's on the field, and he's fucking locked in. Mm-hmm. Something great happens, something bad happens, there's no change. He is leveled in. And then once the game's over, he gets in the locker room, boom, he's fired up. That's when he shows his excitement.
Ripping his shirt off, screaming their saying. I mean, it's probably kind of hard to, he has the good, better, best mentality. It's probably hard to get people to buy in the beginning because you come from a losing mentality and losing team to saying that and screaming something that you really believe in and passionate in. Well, he's really gotten them going. He's really gotten them bought into it.
It's interesting, too, because I was skeptical about the good, better, best thing, too, because it's like a gimmick almost, right? No. And if you think back to the previous regime in Chicago, they had the HITS principle.
Right.
And they were going to grade everybody's practice and hustle, intensity, takeaways, and smarts or whatever it stood for. Get your track shoes on, whatever Eberflus was saying, and getting rid of it. Actually, I think we all owe Eberflus some gratitude.
Sure.
Because without him, we don't have Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
And we don't have Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
So it took us through a lull there that was pretty bad, but without him, we probably don't have either of these guys.
Well, and it's like you said, I think that one of the reasons it works so well, this good, better, best mentality, is because you can tell that he believes in it. And it's more that I think the way that he presents it to the team is, listen, they won a game. Great. That's awesome. But we're not done.
Yeah.
It's always, I mean, when they say this good, better, best, it's, okay, great, but we're not done. It's always keep working.
Right.
Good is great, then get better. Keep working until you can't do it anymore. And I heard the quote he said it was at some press conference I heard he talked about to the team where he was talking about be ready to play for the next 5 weeks.
Yeah.
He goes, if any of you are making plans or booking trips or thinking about vacations, he goes, don't show up.
Yeah.
We're here to play for the next 5 weeks. And, that's what you want.
The other thing I love that he's been doing, and you see it in those post games where he does the good, better, best, and giving out the game balls in
Yeah.
there. And I forget which game it was. It might have been the Packers game, the win. He's very reluctant to give Caleb a game ball, even when he plays well. Because I think that's showing the rest of the team that he understands that even if you have a great quarterback, it's not enough.
Yeah.
You need the rest of the guys. And it seems like Caleb's fully bought into that.
Yep.
And he doesn't need all that. You can see his excitement for the other guys getting the game balls.
Well,
and it's just great to see. It seems like that's coming together. And he's helping Caleb become a leader.
I was just going to say, the relationship that Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams have is key to this whole thing. And, you heard stories about, last year, Caleb, was never meeting with coaches, never doing tape, never doing any of this stuff. And, again, heard story, one of the reporters was saying they were doing something and they were leaving Johnson's office. And it was like, it was a Monday or something, they had nothing, day after the game. Caleb Williams was sitting right outside the office. It was like 7, 8 a.m., ready to go in, ready to talk tape, ready to go over the next game. And, yeah, I think it's good to show that.
I think you watch tape.
Well, what did I say?
You talk
Well, you
tape.
talk about
We're
the
gonna
tape.
talk
You
about it when
watch
we
it
watch
and then
it.
you talk about it. I mean, yeah. But, he's very much not, a diva or, a head case.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that, like you said, comes from the coach. And he has bought into this idea that even though, you expect your quarterback to make those plays.
How do we get those cheese grater hats?
So they're made.
Oh, we're
it's-
talking about that.
Yeah, it's a company.
I kind of want one.
It's a company in Texas, I believe. They previously made a bunch of different things just for people for parties and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I guess after the Bears busted that out after the win against Green Bay,
They're only $40. I found them.
they canceled all their orders that people had placed, and they're only producing cheese graters now.
So there's an even better story behind that, where they were making cheese. One of the hats that they made was a cheese hat, like the cheese
Yeah.
heads, not connected to the Packers, obviously, but they like you said, they made a bunch of different ones. And apparently, the Green Bay Packers sent them a cease and desist, saying you can't make the cheese hat because it's our thing, it's our whatever trademark. Sent them a big cease and desist letter to stop doing that. And so then that's when one of the guys got the idea, is okay, well, we'll make cheese shredder hats. And that's, like you said, the Bears got into it, then all the other teams got into it, and now it's just the biggest. I think they had something, the guy said it's a small company. They got over 4,000 orders just for that cheese shredder hat.
Yeah.
Foampartyhats.com. Nice little plug there
So
for
one
you.
thing that is concerning, if you're a person that follows trends, is so the Bears busted that cheese grater hat out,
come
right?
on.
Yeah.
And it was that was the Packers' first loss in a 4-game stretch of losing to end the season.
To skid to hold on, wait, really quick, just to mention, we got ESPN here. They're doing picks for the week. They're doing the Bears Packers, and that's how they're making their picks, is guys putting on either a cheese head or a cheese shredder, and that's awesome.
That's fantastic.
3 out of 5 going to the Bears. So, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the concerning trend is so far. Obviously the last loss the Packers had, that there's not another game for the Vikings the next week, but the previous 3 all lost the week following wearing the cheese grater.
Yeah,
So that
if
you're a
cheese
trend
shredder
follower,
curse. Yeah, I mean, and that's another thing. That's got to be tough. Now the Bears, okay, they lost their last couple games as well. They lost to the Niners. They lost to the Lions. I don't think you can be too disappointed in that game against the 49ers. I mean, obviously the defense just did not show up, and that's a problem. But if anything, that should give you a lot of faith in the offense.
yeah.
The Lions game, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I would love to see a win, but it was one of those, I think that's where you talk about, they haven't put together a strong game on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
However, they have kept that mentality. Of course, we don't see anything updates from Green Bay because we're not in that news network or whatever, but coming into the playoffs on a 4-loss skid and then having to go into Chicago is going to play a big role, I think.
I think so. So looking at the bracket here, curious what you guys think, how this is going to play out, just overall. So obviously you got your 1 seeds in the Broncos and the Seahawks. In my opinion, the Seahawks are legitimate. That defense, that's going to travel. Their only potential kryptonite's going to be if Sam Darnold turns into a pumpkin and starts turning the ball over like he's known to do.
Yeah.
I do not have confidence in the Broncos.
Really?
Because of Bo Nix, I don't think he's legitimate. They do have a great defense, though. But my question being, on each side of the bracket, who are you guys looking at as a dark horse here? That obviously take the 1 seeds out of there. Who could make some noise and potentially upset a 1 seed and make a run here?
I'm looking at
Jerome?
Buffalo, but that's because I love Josh Allen.
He's a difference maker in the playoffs.
He really
Yeah.
is. I
Yeah.
mean, he's the guy that can make something happen.
Well, a lot of people are saying, Josh Allen, his only issue in the playoffs has always been the Chiefs, and now
no Chiefs.
they're not there.
Thank God we even touch on that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think
we were
it's
blessed.
funny. I think it's funny you said Buffalo. I was going to go with Jacksonville. Jacksonville, I think, is going to be a team to watch. I mean, not only because they have never been that good in the past, however many years. Now you got Trevor Lawrence coming in, and he has just exploded for that team. And I think the team to watch is going to be Jacksonville because I think they've got a lot, like I said, the history behind them. People are going to maybe try to write them off and try to underestimate them.
Well, and everybody thinks it's Josh Allen's year to win this year because there's no Burrow, there's no Lamar, there's no Pat Mahomes.
Right.
But I agree with you. I think it's Jacksonville on the AFC side. Liam Cohen has gotten out of Trevor Lawrence what they weren't able to get before. He was starting to look like not a bust because he's a serviceable NFL quarterback.
Sure.
But he wasn't a number 1.
Yeah.
But the last month and a half, 2 months, that team is legitimate.
And as far as if we're just talking about knocking off 1 seeds, I think the Rams have got a good shot against Seattle. It's weird. You look at the bracket again. You look at the rankings, and I'm sorry, the Rams 5 seed against a Carolina 4 makes no sense.
Yeah,
I
how
think
is
that's
Carolina
just
4?
You look
Division
at
winner.
the
Yeah, but,
trash division that Carolina. I mean,
Exactly.
8 and 9 won their division. That just I mean,
They need to rework the
They gotta
playoff
figure that
seeding
out.
where you shouldn't even get in.
No, they have no business being there. I mean, if Carolina pulls that kind of, and it wouldn't even be an upset. That's the thing. Carolina wins against the Rams. That's not an upset because they're the higher seed.
It's an upset in Vegas.
Well, yeah, the odds makers are going to have something to say about it. That's for sure.
What
But
do we
I think the Rams have got a shot because the Rams have had a great year. The Rams have played well. I remember-
Stafford's going to win MVP.
Well, yeah. Early in the season, I was saying the Rams are going to the Super Bowl. I don't know if that still rings true, but as far as it comes to knocking off the 1 seeds, Seattle's going to struggle to get past the Rams if they get over Carolina.
Yeah.
What do we think about New England? Are they real?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think
I
so.
wish I
either.
had it in front of me, but they showed, not everybody, but there's people out there saying that Drake May's
Second coming.
that second coming, he should win the MVP. He's or at least in the top 2.
Mm-hmm.
And there's games out there, one of common opponents for him and Stafford, where they played the same team, and Drake May's numbers abysmal in those games compared to Stafford's. And then they look at games they've played, both quarterbacks played against teams with winning records, and Stafford's out there lighting it up because he lights it up against everybody.
Yeah.
And Drake May's out there throwing no touchdown passes, hardly any yards. So all of his damage came similar to the Bears season because they also had a last place schedule.
Yep.
Came against bad teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then who did they lose to? Do you think they get out of the first round? Do you think
No.
I think they'll beat the Chargers.
I think they'll beat the Chargers, and I think Houston's got a good shot knocking them out. Because I'm sorry, I don't think Pittsburgh's got the length in it either.
Yeah,
Listen, Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, but he's also
41 years old. Yeah.
I mean,
Although, the Texans' defense, that's legit.
Yeah.
And, the only problem for them is going to be they're at Pittsburgh and they're a dome team, so the weather could play a factor in that. And their offense is anemic. But that defense is they have a chance of holding anybody under 10 points.
yeah.
anemic? I like that.
That's a good. Yeah, that's a nice use of the word. I mean, yeah, I think that's going to play. The weather is going to play a role in some of these games for sure. I mean, you got, like you said, Houston going to Pittsburgh, LA is going to New England. But I mean, that's, I guess, one of the things, Bears, Packers, they're both going to be used to that kind of weather. Other than the wind, you said Jordan Love struggles in the wind, but that's what I'm saying. That's just going to be a great matchup.
And that's going to play a factor in the kicking game. Big time.
And, Santos shows he can control the wind a little bit from that.
From
that
40 yards and in, because you go past that, he don't got the leg. But
no, but there was what was it? Was it the Browns? Was it the super wind where he basically bet that field goal? He played the wind perfectly. Yeah. I mean, he's out there.
Another thing to watch in that Bears game, though, with Soldier Field's notorious for having a sloppy track.
Yeah.
And the field being torn up, and it's rain, snow, whatever it's been doing pretty much since before I woke up.
It rained
today.
all day yesterday. It's
that field's going to get torn up quick.
Yeah.
So that's going to play a factor for both teams in all phases.
Yeah, it is. Before we get in, just a couple other fun facts I had as far as this game goes. Ben Johnson, talking about him again. Third Bears head coach in history to reach 10 wins in their first season, which, again, great accomplishment.
Matt Nagy on that list?
I don't remember who the other ones were because I didn't write it down.
Oh, but, good research.
Yeah, I did. I did half the work. One funny thing I did see, at least this season, one of the big things when Caleb Williams was drafted, he made that tweet or that comment to
not going to punt.
Troy Taylor, you're not going to be punting that much. He has seemed to at least partially achieve that goal finally. They said that Taylor only punted 60 times this entire season, which broke down to 3.5 times per game, which, at least for the Bears, is the lowest figure in Bears history. So
that's incredible.
Still not great, but you're moving forward.
Part of that, though, is that's not so much, and you see it because there's so many games where the Bears aren't scoring what we think they should be scoring. So part of the reason for that, though, is the times that we go for it on fourth down.
Yeah.
With Ben Johnson being much more aggressive than previous coaches.
I love that. I love that mentality of going for it on fourth down. Wherever, if you're in a good position, if you're not just, you're midfield or something like that, go for it. It's a nice mentality to have.
Well, and the Bears are in a situation, they almost have to go for it as often as they do, maybe more often.
Yeah.
Because they can't stop anybody.
Yeah.
So you got to take your shot at points.
One other thing I think was interesting we saw this season was Phillip Rivers coming back to Indy. I don't know if you guys saw some of those.
Fantastic.
That was fun.
He still got it. One of the coolest things, apparently he coaches like a youth football league or something. High school team. Yeah, they showed videos of his team, like watching him and stuff. That was kind of neat. But there was somebody who asked Jay Cutler. He said, "Hey, let's say there was some emergency situation. Would you come back to play with Ben Johnson?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'd show up. I'd do that. Hell yeah." Which, if you're gonna bring back any of the old quarterbacks,
bring back Smoking Jay.
Bring back High Jay, baby.
Yeah, I love Jay.
He had that little incident down in Nashville.
We're not gonna talk about that.
He's made some mistakes, whatnot, but
that divorce took a bit of him. He needs some of that cash.
Would love to see him running wild out there,
absolutely.
Throwing rockets, putting shoulders into defenders. Love that.
Now, I want to slightly switch gears. Still on football though. Tom Brady's in the box now.
Yep.
And I got to tell
Whose
you.
box?
Not his wife's.
He doesn't have one of those.
I kind of love it. I think he's done it.
He's great.
I only wish that he didn't have such an annoying voice. His voice is just a little high-pitched and whiny. Not that he sounds whiny, but it's got
just
that
the way it comes out.
Yeah, but he has been awesome to watch.
Well, he's gotten a lot better since he started.
Yeah.
Which to be expected. But you can tell he's putting in the time and the work to be good at it. What I love the most about him in the box is he explains the game of football in very simple terms.
Yeah.
And he knows all the terminology that they're using in there, and he can tell you what it means in a way you understand it.
Absolutely. He gets so excited. I mean, I think the Bears had at least 2 games this season where he was he was commentating. He was one of the guys, and he got fired up like he was on the field. It was just so cool to watch.
Yeah.
I saw just recently something that when you don't have Tom Brady on your TV that we might like to hear. Peacock, streaming service for NBC, they get the Thursday night games and Sunday night, I believe. They announced that they're going to be releasing a new package for their football games. It's a new system that's going to allow fans to supposedly personalize how they want to listen to games, including the option to turn off commentary and just listen to the crowd noise.
That could be fun.
That's supposedly coming out starting next season. It's only going to be available on the Peacock streaming, so like your live broadcast, that's not going to be a thing. But I think that's something we've talked about. That's something fans have been wanting to do for any number of sports for years, and that's just got to be great.
What they need to do, I hope it's a hit. I'm sure it's going to cost money to have that feature, but I hope people buy it.
Yeah.
Because that'll encourage other platforms to develop the same thing.
Yeah.
And I would love to mute Joe Buck.
I was literally just when I saw that story, I literally wrote down in my notes, Joe fucking Buck. I mean, that's the one everyone's going to want to shut up, right? I mean, he's got to be the guy.
It's the worst.
I saw that and I thought, thank God, bring that to baseball, bring that to the playoffs. I mean, like you said, I hope that catches on. That'll be so huge.
It'd be nice for baseball. We got a taste of it last year in the World Series, where the Toronto Blue Jays, being in the World Series and being a different country, were able to use their home broadcast team for the games and not the national broadcasters.
Right.
I would love it if they did that across the board.
Yeah.
Because you just get so much more passion in the broadcast. Like, obviously, not a Blue Jays fan.
No,
but
you
the
get your
games,
local guys?
the games in Toronto were so much better to watch than the games in LA because you had home broadcasters.
Yeah, and I think that's something you maybe you just take a hit on. Because, you get these national playoff games where, you got your broadcast companies, you have these announcers that are supposed to sound impartial, you're supposed to get excited but nobody cares. They don't care. Well, it's not genuine.
Use the home broadcasters and have them broadcast on whichever network has the contract.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I mean, think about it. Let's say you get the Cubs in the playoffs.
I'm not a big Bouchampi fan, so I'd be all right without him. But give me Pat Hughes.
Give me Pat Hughes.
Yeah.
If you could get Pat Hughes on your TV instead of, like you said, fucking Joe Buck or whoever doing playoffs for the Cubs. I mean, that's going to increase viewership.
True.
So, all right. Well, I think before we switch gears, of course, we've got to do it until we get some dough. We're going to keep doing it, folks. And I'd like to thank our first non-sponsor of the podcast, who's our favorite and yours should be, and that's going to be Alp nicotine pouches, folks. Alppouch.com. That's ALP. Just a great product. I mean, if you talk about your needing a little bit of a buzz during the day, needing something to get you through. I mean, I'm not going to call it healthy because I'm not a doctor, but it's definitely better than smoking. It's definitely better for you than chewing tobacco, and it's got some good flavor. It stays with you. It's way better than those other shitty pouches that are out there. Everybody I see them with those less than great pouches. I tell them, go to alppouch.com. Like, oh, what about delivery? Dude, I ordered some on Monday. I had them by Wednesday. It gets to you. It's a good product. It's a good business. I mean, I know you guys are a fan. So
Gotta love it, yeah. Great flavor, long-lasting. It's just almost like a breath mint.
it really is. And, which all of us are a big fan of, you get more bang for your buck.
Love bang
Those
for
other
my buck.
pouches, you get nothing. You get 15. These come 20 per tin and, cost less. So think about it. If you're into it, if you're looking for something, they also, if you're not into nicotine, they have caffeine pouches, different flavors, so you can have time for a cup of coffee in the morning or the afternoon. Try it out. I can't recommend it enough. And Tucker, if you're watching, hit us up. So switching gears really quick, we can stick with football, but I think it's time to maybe look at college. You got the Nationals coming up here. What are we thinking about that?
Indiana by 1 million.
After last night, yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. I was not a believer in Indiana. They don't have any of the big recruits. You know, they don't look menacing out on the field. Their quarterback's not a guy that's out there throwing for 300 yards and running for 75. They just come off as a team of average Joes. Mm-hmm. But man, do they just execute and dominate. And I thought Oregon was gonna be the end of them. And I pull up the ESPN app last night, and I look at the score. I'm like, no shit. Like, there's no way Miami's keeping up with them.
No, God, no. I mean, Oregon has, I don't know, like 6 times the budget almost. And, you know, I think I saw they're worth $36 billion, and Indiana's maybe $5 billion. It's quite insane that Indiana is just murdering every team.
I mean, they're coming off just hard, and I think it's great for any number of reasons. Number one for me though is, I mean, welcome back Big Ten. I mean, welcome back Big Ten to football. I mean, listen, after so many years, you just get sick and tired of the SEC thinking they're the only ones who can play football. Yeah. You know, and I get it. There's a lot of rivalries in the Big Ten. A lot of the other teams aren't too happy, but at least you got to be happy for your division, right?
Yeah, well, the division winning is good for the division. It brings money that gets into all of the teams in the conference. So that's a positive for everybody. Mm-hmm. You know, it's obviously, I think we're going to see over the next couple years, they could start looking really dangerous if they don't already, because they're going to start attracting legitimate recruits.
Oh, yeah. No, they are.
You know, they're winning right now with average Joes, it seems like, at least according to whoever does the prospect rankings.
Yeah.
But Cignetti's got some sort of secret sauce and a formula there that is, you got almost all year Ohio State was number 1.
Yeah.
They beat them, and then they beat the hell out of them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Oregon.
It's not only are they beating teams, they have 3 games, I think, this season where they've won by more than 50 points.
It's incredible.
And it's, again, I don't know if they're not playing shit teams.
No.
I mean, they're just showing up and they're dominating the game.
Yeah, I mean, they beat the hell out of Illinois.
Yeah, I was just looking at that 63-10.
Yeah, and Illinois was having a good year.
Yeah, they were.
Illinois finished in the top 20 in the country, I believe, and won a bowl game. And, I mean, they didn't deserve to be on the same field.
Yeah. I mean, 13-0 from Indiana this year.
Incredible.
I just crazy to see it. And, yeah, I mean, so now you're looking at Miami. You're looking at Miami in the final.
Which Miami it's a surprise, I would say.
Really?
I mean,
yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
I was a little sad that they beat Ole Miss. I wanted Ole Miss to go all the way simply because of the Lane Kiffin situation. Because he's a. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say
the only
words.
reason it's good they didn't, like, I was in the same boat, but every game LSU was giving Lane Kiffin his bonuses for Ole Miss still winning.
Really?
That were in his Ole Miss contract. Oh. So I'm glad they lost, so he's not getting paid
He's
for
not
nothing.
getting paid any money. He's not earning yet.
He's such an asshole. I mean, I'm happy for the Hurricanes. It's great. I do not think they're going to beat Indiana, but I do hope that it's a good game. I do. Because nobody really wants to see a blowout national championship.
I mean, how many of those have we seen recently?
I know.
I mean, the past, 2 or 3, it seems like at least 2 out of 3 have just been these blow-off games that nobody wants to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, you had that with the Super Bowl then recently too. I mean, just it's not fun.
Well, the whole thing of this playoff is it's supposed to get you down to the legitimate 2 best teams.
Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't seem like it's doing that.
They got to figure that out because they, when it comes to college football, they keep changing things up. I've heard talk again they're going to expand it even more. And I mean, is that going to bring you any better matchups? I mean, is that going to? I mean, sure, it'll give some teams that otherwise didn't have the opportunity a chance to play, but do they need that opportunity? I mean,
they're not expanding it to get better matchups or down to the legitimate 2 best. If they expand it, it's strictly for money.
Well,
exactly.
They've already done it to take over these bowl games. I mean, and so what do they just create more new bowl games? I mean, you've already got these crazy ones that nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah, you got the mac and cheese bowl
exactly.
and whatever
all
else
these
there
other
is
weird ones that you don't think about. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, college football. That's what's happening. January 19th is going to be that championship. I think your guys are right.
It'll be exciting either way. I mean, I'm happy for Indiana. We're kind of already acting like Indiana's already won.
I think
They have, but
I mean, yeah,
you
I
know.
guess it would like you said, be great to see some competition. But my God, is anyone going to stop them? I don't think so.
Doesn't look like it.
It's not Miami.
You started thinking, you started thinking about basketball yet? You started looking at college basketball coming up.
So, I mean, obviously, I've been watching a lot of Illinois.
Yeah.
Not a lot of everybody else. Illinois is a team that I think they're a team that could beat anybody, but I think they're probably more of like a Sweet 16 type team.
Yeah.
I don't think they're consistent enough. They got a lot of young guys. It's interesting because they've got this European model. They do most of their recruiting overseas.
Yeah.
Bring in these guys. I think they called their opening day starting lineup the Baltic Five. And Brad Underwood's got the nickname now Bradamir from all of his overseas recruiting.
Sure.
It's an exciting brand of basketball to watch.
Yeah. It's fun to watch.
You know, the thing that's missing, and again, just sticking with Illinois, is why they're not going to advance as far as I'd like them to. Defense. You know, if you're a team that's heaving up threes, but you can't stop anybody that's running real offense,
Yeah.
that's a problem.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Just a couple of quick things before we go. However, I think we've got time maybe just to squeeze in one more of our not sponsors of the podcast. Of course, you guys know we're doing this Saturday mornings now. We're looking at a good time to have a nice little breakfast beer. The wonderful people over there at Coors Light. Thank you for not sponsoring the podcast. You're definitely helping us get through the rough stuff this morning. Real quick, just a couple of quick things before we get done here. Just a really quick, take it or leave it. Being complimented on your sports knowledge is a top 5 guy experience.
I'm on the fence on that. I'm going to leave it.
All right.
Because, first of all, I don't know if I've ever made a list of top 5 guy experiences.
Sure.
So, for one, I'd have to think about it. But I think one of the most awesome guy experiences is when you, like, build something or renovate something or install something and somebody's, like, tells you how nice it looks and how good of a job you did. Or even better, they ask you, like, who installed it, and like, they thought a pro did that.
So who'd you have do that?
Exactly. You got a guy for that?
Yeah,
no, I did that.
No,
shit.
that was me. Yeah. I'm kind of agreeing with you on that one because I think right up there with that comes with being complimented on like your grilling. Who made the meat here? Who did this? That's got to be another one.
That's up there.
And I can't, like I said, haven't made a list. I think there might be plenty of other things who are above that.
For me, I've never been a guy that sits down and analyzes sports stats and things. So for me, it would feel good for someone to say that. I mean, obviously, I'm not on here talking about, how many yards Caleb has thrown for and stuff like that. So for me, I would like it.
Yeah, you are an Eagles fan.
I wouldn't even know how many yards Jalen Hurts has thrown for.
Not many.
At least 4.
I don't know. But for I think it's fun in the right setting.
Yeah.
And like betting, I've never really been heavy into betting, but when I see guys talking about like money lines and all this stuff, I'm like, man, I should really learn.
What are they
that.
talking about?
Yeah, it's like
What does
another
that mean?
language to me.
Yeah. One other final thing before we get going. I just saw this interesting question floating around. What is one rule change that you would make to any sport, to make it a much better game? So one small rule change or one small detail change you'd make to any sport just to make it a better game. For me, just to kind of give you an example.
Go ahead.
For soccer, I don't bear with me. Just add one more ball. 2 balls in a soccer game
That'd be nuts.
Makes it a much more exciting game.
That'd be nuts.
That's it.
On the avenue of soccer, I would say make the field smaller.
Sure.
Why the fuck is it so big?
Yeah. Well, you see that they got some of those indoor leagues where it's much smaller and there's a lot more action.
Yeah. I think. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, for me in football, I'm gonna stick with football because we're
Talking
in the playoffs
football, yeah.
today. It's not necessarily a rule change, but I would change how it's officiated. and stop treating quarterbacks like they're made of glass.
Yeah.
Let the defense come. You see these receivers getting blown up over the middle and there's no flag. Running backs getting blown up. Well, the quarterback's playing football too. And
Yeah.
he's wearing pads too.
I hate that so much. So many and it's been a recent thing over the past like 10 years or so. But are the quarterbacks playing the game or not? I mean, are they on the field? Are they wearing pads? Are they a player or not? Decide. And listen, if that's the case, fine. Quarterbacks are touch football then.
Yeah, put a red jersey on them like it's practice.
And that's it, but I mean, especially when you look at like the running quarterbacks, who once they cross the line of scrimmage, they are a running back. So they should not have that slide option. They shouldn't have those. Once you're out of the pocket, those protections are gone.
Yep.
I think that's at least what we should look at.
Yeah. It's not necessarily a rule change. It's kind of an entire change, but for golf, make it 14 holes. Why do we need 18? I don't know. When we're playing, once we get to 14, I'm kind of like...
You're done, huh?
Dude, when I get to
and
9,
you're the
I'm
golf
like,
guy.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think golf has really expanded in the last couple of years.
Sure.
And it's always been 18, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think that 14 holes might be better.
Yeah,
Especially
I
for
can see that.
viewership. I mean, a lot of people don't want to... Except for the hardcore golf people.
Yeah.
That want to watch all 18.
Yeah.
I don't think we need all 18.
Yeah.
I mean, Live Golf is trying to do their whole thing with music and all that shit, and
Well, did you
teams
see
and stuff.
Did you see that speed game they did recently?
Speed game.
There was you got 4 guys, and the goal is who can get the ball in the hole fastest. And so you got a guy on the tee box, drives the ball, and you've got a guy waiting mid fairway.
Yeah.
And wherever the ball stops, he lines up, boom, and you've got 2 guys close to the green or on the green, and they alternate putts or whatever, and it's all on a clock. It's who can get it in the hole fastest.
That's kind of
it's
fun.
like a team game. Yeah. So I don't know. That's an interesting thing to look
Yeah.
at too.
And on that note too, golf takes so long.
Yeah.
It takes so fucking long. I mean, make the holes longer and just delete a hole.
Dude, that's so funny because you're the golf guy.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god.
I think Brooks Koepka would actually agree with me on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys close? You and
Yeah,
you
me
You
and
guys
him,
are buds. You talked about it before.
I text him to
Hot guy in the news right now. He
he's a
recently.
hot guy, is he?
He's a hot guy. Yeah. Recently took a step back from Live Golf. Doesn't look like he's going to be playing for them anymore.
Oh.
Probably going back to the PGA Tour when he can.
So you got to give that bag of money back?
That's a good question. I mean, I think they gave him over $100 million for his contract.
Yeah,
so
that's
I don't know if his contract ended and he just didn't want to renew it, but that's a big topic right now for golf.
Yeah. You know what I'd change for the NBA?
everything.
I would eliminate the NBA. It's not real basketball.
I literally just saw a video of a bunch of highlights from the 90s when they were just beating the hell out of each other. And no, there's not a single player in the league today that would survive a single game in that league.
No.
No,
And,
I agree.
And first of all, you flip it on, and within probably the first couple plays, you're going to see a guy run with the basketball like he's a football running back.
Yeah.
No, nothing.
Yeah.
I don't watch the NBA anymore because it's so bad, but I don't know if there's been anybody box anybody out.
Oh, God,
in,
no.
What, 10 years?
Yeah.
When's the last time somebody took a charge?
Right.
I can't watch it. It's a not watchable product. And then you look at something like the Bulls. They have a home game the other night that gets canceled because they couldn't keep condensation off the floor because the weather got too warm in Chicago. You're in a
indoors.
climate-controlled environment.
Yeah. Somebody called Jerry. Is the United Center really falling apart that much?
Even worse, then they're talking about maybe the next day needing to cancel a Hawks game.
Insane. Nope. No. Okay. Well, yeah, I agree. That's going to probably be it. Oh, all right. Well, luckily, as duty calls for our must there, I think that's going to bring us back to the end. So, thanks for being with us, Jerome. As always, a great time.
It was a great time.
Hopefully this video makes it a little bit more enjoyable for some of you people. And I guess until next time, if you need us, we'll be in the garage.